What happened this week in K-pop? Weekly K-pop news. What happened this week in K-pop? Please follow so I can reach 300 followers. And I think I'm actually going to start doing these every Sunday because there is way too much happening in K-pop for me to make a separate video about every single thing. So here is everything you actually need to know from this week, plus my completely unnecessary opinions, because obviously I cannot just report the news and shut up. First of all, KATSEYE are absolutely destroying the UK charts right now. Their new EP Wild debuted at number 2 on the UK official albums chart, Animal reached number 12, and Hootie Fruity entered at number 16. They have now had 5 UK top 40 singles in 2026, making them the first girl group since Little Mix in 2021 to do that in a single calendar year. So commercially, yeah, I cannot even hate. They are doing incredibly well. Everything else about this era, though, I still think it is a mess. And before icons start screaming at me, numbers do not automatically make every creative decision good. McDonald's sells a lot of burgers, too. We are allowed to discuss the food. I already talked about Hootie Fruity and why the video made me uncomfortable. The increasingly sexual styling, the camera work, the entire direction of the group just feels weird to me, especially when KATSEYE very obviously has a lot of young fans. You cannot build a group through TikTok. Viral dances and extremely youth-friendly marketing and then suddenly act like everybody questioning an increasingly sexual image is some kind of conservative grandma. And yes, Yoonchai is 18 now. I know, 18 is legally an adult. Congratulations to the calendar. That does not mean I suddenly have to find every creative decision surrounding a barely adult idol tasteful. And personally, ever since the whole Manon situation, I just have not looked at KATSEYE or parts of their fandom the same way. Manon is still on hiatus. Sophia is also currently taking a break. And meanwhile, the machine just keeps moving because obviously the album needs to sell. So yes, KATSEYE are commercially winning. I will give them that. But commercially successful and creatively good are two completely different conversations. And right now I think KATSEYE are becoming extremely good at generating attention while simultaneously making me like them less and less. Maybe I'm the problem. The UK clearly disagrees with me. Apparently Britain heard Hootie Fruity and said, actually, give me more. Moving on to ENHYPEN, because apparently controversy also does absolutely nothing to album sales anymore. Their new mini-album, The Sin, Bliss, sold more than 1.77 million copies on its first day, according to Hunteo 1.77 million in 24 hours. The album also hit number 1 on iTunes Top Albums charts in 23 countries and regions, and this is also their first album as a 6-member group. Whatever you personally think about everything surrounding ENHYPEN lately, those numbers are insane. I'm personally still not exactly running through the streets celebrating this era, but clearly NewJeans opened their wallets and said, we have heard enough discourse. Take my money. Next, NewJeans. We are slowly seeing the members return to public activities. Haerin recently appeared on the cover of Marie Claire Korea, which was her first individual project since returning to Adore. And now Heen has also appeared in a new September magazine pictorial. So naturally people are going, NewJeans comeback? Not yet. Adore has previously said that detailed music and comeback plans will be announced once they are finalized. So please do not turn 2 magazine covers into an album release date. K-pop fans see one photo shoot and suddenly Spotify is open, light stick charged, airport booked. Calm down. But it is interesting because it looks like we are slowly entering the next stage of NewJeans activities again. And honestly, after everything that happened with this group, I am extremely curious what a proper NewJeans return even looks like now. Next, unfortunately, another idol is taking a health break. Billy's Haruna is temporarily stopping activities again because of health concerns. Mystic Story said medical professionals recommended sufficient rest and stability. So Billy will promote as 6 members for the time being, and this is one of those stories where I really do not have some spicy opinion. Let the girl rest. That is literally it. K-pop companies sometimes act like an idol needs to be on the verge of turning into dust before somebody finally says, maybe you should sleep. Haruna already went through an extremely difficult hiatus in the past, so hopefully this time she gets as much time as she actually needs instead of rushing back because there is another schedule waiting. Now some news I am actually very excited about. Soyeon is finally coming back as a solo artist. Cube confirmed that Soyeon is preparing a solo comeback for early September, which will be her first proper solo comeback since Windy in 2021, 5 years. And honestly, this is the kind of solo comeback I actually want, because whether you like Soyeon or not, you know exactly who she is as an artist. She writes. She produces. She has opinions. She has a sound. Sometimes she makes something amazing. Sometimes she makes something where I sit there thinking, girl, What exactly happened in the studio today? But at least it feels like her. And after spending so much time recently complaining about solo artists who have 12 luxury campaigns and absolutely no musical identity, I am very curious to hear what Soyeon does when she gets an entire project to herself. Please be weird, I mean that as a compliment. And finally, BTS have once again sent Indian Army into complete detective mode. BTS recently appeared in a Google India and Gemini campaign where the members greeted Indian fans in Hindi, talked about Mumbai, looked at places to visit, and discussed what a BTS trip to India could look like. Jin even told Indian fans, "We missed you." Obviously, the internet immediately went, "BTS India tour confirmed?" No. Nobody has confirmed that. There is currently no official BTS concert date for India. So Indian Army, please do not sell your house yet. But I completely understand why people are suspicious. Because talking specifically about Mumbai during a massive India-focused campaign while BTS are already touring the world is basically dangling food in front of somebody and saying, no, don't get excited, and remember, Mumbai had originally been discussed for their cancelled 2020 touring plans. So fans have been waiting years for this. If BTS actually announce Mumbai, that city is going to need military-level crowd control, and that is basically your K-pop week. KATSEYE are commercially destroying my argument while I continue to dislike their creative direction. ENHYPEN apparently cannot stop selling millions of albums. NewJeans are slowly coming back into public view. Haruna is taking another much-needed break. Soyeon is finally giving us solo music again. And BTS have Indian Army refreshing tour announcements every 12 seconds. And honestly, I think Sunday K-pop news might become a regular thing here because apparently this industry physically cannot behave for 7 consecutive days. So tell me which story this week was the most interesting. And follow because next Sunday I will probably be back here asking what the hell happened in K-pop again.